Alrighty, let's get into it, man. So this evening, prime time at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man, you have UConn versus Iowa. Let me go ahead and give you my prediction right off the top of my head. UConn will win this game. UConn will win this game. The reason why I'm picking UConn is because I feel UConn is very hungry. I feel UConn has a chip on their shoulders. I feel that Paige went through a lot through her college career because she really didn't play none of last season. Missed 17 games a season before that with injuries. And I feel she is coming with a vengeance. When I saw how UConn played against USC, Juju, and Juju is an offensive firepower, full of explosions. I mean, she can shoot mid-range. She can drive the basket, very methodical to the rim. And the way they really just handled her, they played physical with her. I mean, they played physical basketball on the defensive end. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to take when you want to win a national championships. And this is the UConn roster right here. She was number 10, Nika Mule, if I'm saying her last name properly. She put on a show. I'm telling y'all, man, this girl number 10, she's a senior. She didn't let up off of Juju. She got physical with her. And there was several players that was getting physical with her. Ashlyn, she was playing physical with her. Let me tell you something, man. I like UConn's bigs, man. Let me tell you something. I believe where she's at. She's the one that has something over her nose because I think she even broke her nose or something like that. Ice Brady, I believe that's her. Ice Brady right there, number 25. Let me tell y'all something, man. UConn is coming for it, man. This is why I give UConn the edge. Now, if you look at our roster, right, this shows the greatness of Caitlin Clark. Because if you take Caitlin Clark off this team, they're not even making the NCAA tournament. Let's just be honest here. But Caitlin Clark has this ick factor. She has something about her that elevates the play of her team. Everyone around her, including the coaching. Because let me tell you something, when I was watching that game with Iowa versus LSU, I didn't even like some of the plays that the coach was running. Like, you got to use a generational talent like you have in Caitlin Clark. You have to continue to keep using her the right way. Continue to allow her to run off on screens. Continue to allow her to be even able to catch the ball off back screens and get into the elbow and things of that nature. You have to run specific plays for her consistently that if they double team her, she can pass it off, which she's shown that she's a willing passer. Caitlin Clark will pass the ball to you if she feels that you're open. So she scored 41 points with ease against LSU. But this is the roster that she's dealing with, that she has as her teammates. And I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna have what it takes to beat UConn. UConn has something, that grit. They have that fight. They seem like they're more physical. And I like when you have a team that's physical on the defensive side of the ball. That's something that I like to talk about a lot, because that's not talked about a lot on mainstream media, because they're always talking about the wow factor, right? The jump shots and the fadeaway jump shots and the fancy layups. that the top players are making. But give me that grit. Give me that person that knows how to go over the screen instead of under the screen. Give me that person that knows how to set charges. Give me that person that knows how to box out and get rebounds. Those are the things that I don't think that's talked about enough, is what gives you the edge in winning a basketball game. Limiting your opposing team's offensive rebounds, crashing the boards, running the lanes, being a defensive stopper, being able to steal the ball, being able to maintain the player in front of you, being able to watch side screens, backdoor screens, and being able to look with your offhand to knock the ball from going to that offensive player that you're guarding. Those are the recipes for success of winning. And I was going to have to be on it from the jump, because I'm telling you, UConn is going to come guns blazing. Paige is going to be the leader of that team, and she ain't playing. She is not playing. So when you're talking about who I feel is going to have more points, it's a possibility that Caitlin Clark can have more points than Paige. But the difference is going to be is your supporting cast in this game. How much your supporting cast is going to be able to show up for you. That is so very important. That I can't even stress that enough. Your supporting staff is so very important. If you don't have a good supporting team around you to be able to excel, to be able to hit jump shots when you pass it to them and they're open, to be able to hit those open layups off your penetration, those are the things that's going to be important in tonight's game. And I'm going to say this, I think coaching is going to play a factor. I think coaching is going to play a major factor in tonight's game. Let me tell you something. UConn's coach is no joke. He is the real deal. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how to make adjustments. When you're able to make adjustments during the game, it can confuse your opposing team, because now you're forcing you're forcing the coach, their coach, to make adjustments. And I just don't know if our coach is going to be able to handle the coaching adjustments that's going to be made in this game. What are you going to do when they're double teaming Caitlin, not when she gets the ball, but when she drives the ball to the free throw line? What are you going to do when she drives the ball to the elbow? What are you going to do off 2 or 3 dribbles? They have someone on the backside is coming to double team her. They're coming to blitz her to get the ball out of her hands. I'm telling y'all, Caitlin Clark made some silly turnovers against LSU, which tells me if I was the coach for UConn, I would be saying is how she's going to be able to handle pressure when we put some defensive pressure on you, because I have a couple of dogs that going to be able to pressure you. But then how are you going to handle it when I bring a double team, maybe a triple team if I need to, and being able to rotate? UConn is in shape, man. And I think UConn is going to be well equipped with a defensive strategy to try to kind of maintain the offensive firepower of what Caitlin Clark is going to bring to this game, because you can't let her go wild. You can't let her go too wild now, because if she goes too wild, she is not a selfish player. When she goes wild, something happens where she unifies her team and they play outside of their own selves. What I mean by that, she's able to catapult them where they're playing beyond their skill set. That's a real thing, y'all. When you're playing with the generational talent, like all the great players, you had the Dawn Staley when she was playing. You had the Cheryl Swoops when she was playing. You had the Maya Moore when she was playing. Rebecca Lobo when she was playing. You had the Candace Parker when she was playing. Let me tell you something. The great players understand that I am me and I am going to elevate my teammates beyond their comprehension. We're going to win this game. I need y'all to ride on my coattail or on my back and just be ready when the ball comes to you to knock the shot down. That's what the great ones do. That's what the great ones do. And I'm going to tell you something. The first quarter is going to be very, very telling on how this game is going to play out. This first quarter is going to be very, very telling on how this game is going to play out. I feel that UConn is going to be able to make adjustments, and I think they're going to make better adjustments than Iowa, because I just don't feel Iowa's going to have that firepower is needed. I don't feel like their coach is going to be equipped enough to be able to make adjustments on the fly based off on what UConn is going to bring to them. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. UConn is going to bring something that I don't think Iowa has dealt with before. I believe their coach for UConn is going to bring a defensive scheme that's going to confuse Caitlin Clark a little bit. And I'm anxious to see how Caitlin Clark is going to be able to overcome the defensive strategies that the coach for UConn is going to bring. How she's going to be able to elevate, how she's going to be able to think the game through, how she's going to be able to deal with the pressure, how she's going to be able to deal with the defensive schemes that's going to be coming. Hey, the coach from UConn may be playing 3-2 zone, maybe playing 2-3 zone, maybe playing a box zone. There are going to be several things that he's going to do to try to get the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hand and force somebody else to beat them. And if that happens, the Iowa coach is going to have to be ready to make adjustments. Hey, man, that's all I got for y'all, man, in this video, man. I'm excited to watch this game, the UConn versus Iowa. I believe Paige and the UConn Huskies is going to win the game tonight. I hope it's going to be a great game. I don't want any blowout games. So we're going to see, and that's my prediction, man. Hey, if you're going to go ahead and support me, please hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. You can purchase some merch right at my YouTube store, royalfigures.org. I have some amazing merch that you can go ahead and purchase there. If you want to go directly to my website, you can go to www.royalfigures.org. Hey, man, stay tuned to my next video, man, y'all.